Hello Sunrays, how is everyone doing lately? By the way, we are back again with the topic that we will be tackling, which are the culture and media cultures for our subject in the contemporary world. By the way, I am Reblando Angelica and I will be reporting those topics. So enjoy, sit back and relax. For our first up, let us define what is culture. So, culture refers to the way of life of people. It includes how we express ourselves, the choices we make, how we interact with others, how we pursue our goals, and culture is reflected in both physical objects and ideas or beliefs shared by society. So, sa how we express ourselves. So, maybe it's sa ato nga pambayo. Like example is the Filipiniana that we wear during buwan ng wika, the choices that we make. So, like for example, that we always cook rice because it is part of our culture. Because rice is a staple in every of our kitchens. Next is how we interact with each other. Like for example, it is when the younger people says po and opo to the older ones, or when we do the mano po to show our respect to the older people, and how we pursue our goals. For our additional example, culture can also be seen in the food that we eat, the language that we speak, the traditions that we follow, and the beliefs that we hold. It also affects how people express themselves and how they interact with each others in our society. Another important thing to remember is that culture is learned and shared. This means people learn culture from their families, communities, and society while growing up. It is also passed down from one generation to the next. Culture can be seen in both physical objects and shared ideas or beliefs. Because of culture, different societies have unique identities and way of living. So, for our next stop, we have the two types of culture. Culture can be divided into two main types, the material culture and the non-material culture. First is, material culture refers to the physical objects created by people that represent their culture. These are things we can see and touch. Examples includes clothes, our houses, the buildings, the technology, tools, and even our transportation. These objects show how people live and what kind of technology and resources they have. For example, traditional Filipino clothing, like the Barong Tagalog and Barot Saya, are part of our material culture because they represent the Filipino identity. The second type is the non-material culture. This includes the ideas, beliefs, traditions, customs, values, and practices shared by people in a society. Unlike material culture, these cannot be physically touched, but they strongly influence how people behave and think. These include respect for elders, religious beliefs, family values, and traditions during celebrations. Both material and non-material culture are important because they help shape the identity and behavior of people in a society. In the Philippines, there are many examples that show the richness of our culture. One example is bayanihan, which refers to the spirit of community cooperation and helping others without expecting something in return. In the past, bayanihan was seen when neighbors helped move a house from one place to another. Today, it can also be seen when communities help each other during disasters or difficult situations. Another example we have is our respect for elders, which is a very important Filipino value. We show this respect through gestures like pagmamano po, where the younger people take the hand of the elders and place it on the forehead as sign of respect. We also have many religious celebrations and festivals, such as fiestas that honors the patron saints. These celebrations bring communities together and reflect the strong faith and traditions of many Filipinos. These examples show culture influences the values, traditions, and everyday life of the Filipino people. Before we press forward to our next topic, let us recall what are the two main cultures. First, of course, we have the material culture, and the next one is... Alright, that is correct. It is the non-material culture. Now, let us move along to our next topic, which is the media culture. But first, do you know what is media? According to Lule 2014, media is a means of conveying or sharing information. It serves as a channel of communication that allows people to share ideas, news, culture, and knowledge with others. Media plays an important role in society because it helps people stay informed about events happening locally and globally. Some common examples of media include television, radio, newspapers, magazines, and the internet. Today, social media platforms like Facebook or FB, TikTok, and YouTube are also considered forms of media. Through media, people can learn about different cultures, discover new ideas, and stay connected with others, even if they are far away. In simple terms, media helps people communicate and share information quickly and widely. Media plays a major role in globalization. Therefore, we have the media and globalization. Globalization refers to the increasing connection and interaction between people, cultures, and countries around the world. Media makes this connection possible because it allows information to travel quickly from one place to another. Without media, global communication would be much more slower and more difficult. People would have limited knowledge about other cultures and events happening in their countries. Media allows cultural exchange, where people learn about traditions, lifestyles, music, food, and ideas from one or other parts of the world. For example, many Filipinos watch international movies, listen to foreign music, and allow global news through media. Because of this, media helps support economic, political, and cultural globalization, making the world more connected than ever. The relationship between media and globalization developed through 5 important eras of media development. These eras show how communication evolved over time as technology improved. The 5 eras are oral communication, script or writing, printing press, electronic media, and digital media. Each era introduced new ways for people to share knowledge, information, and culture more efficiently. As time passed, communication became faster, more reliable, and accessible to more people around the world. First, we have the oral communication, storytelling, and spoken tradition. The first era is the oral communication, which is the earliest form of communication used by humans. Before writing systems were ever created, people shared information through speaking and storytelling. Stories, traditions, and knowledge were passed down through conversation, storytelling, songs, and oral traditions. For example, many indigenous communities shared their history, beliefs, and cultural values through stories told by their elders. This method allowed traditions and knowledge to be passed down from one generation to another, even without written records. Although it relied on memory, oral communication played an important role in preserving early human culture. The second is script, development of writing. The new era is the development of script or writing. When people developed written language, communication became more advanced because information could now be recorded and preserved. Written records allowed people to document history, laws, literature, and important events. Examples include ancient writings, historical records, and early documentation created by early civilizations. In the Philippines, one of the examples of an early writing system is called the baybayin, which was used by early Filipinos before the Spanish colonization. Because of writing, knowledge no longer depended only on memory. Instead, it could be stored and passed on to future generations more accurately. Another major development in media history is the printing press. The invention of the printing press greatly revolutionized communication because it allowed books, newspapers, and other printed materials to be produced in large quantities. Before the printing press, books had to be copied by hand, which was very slow and expensive. With the printing press, information became more accessible to many people. As a result, literacy rates increased and more people were able to read and learn. Printed materials like newspapers help spread news about important events happening in society and around the world. Because of this development, ideas and knowledge spread much faster, helping societies grow and become more informed. The next era in the development of media is the electronic media. It introduced broadcast communication, which means information can be transmitted electronically to many people at the same time. This was a major improvement compared to printed materials because people could now receive information faster and more conveniently. Some examples of electronic medias include television, radio, and telephone. Through radio and television, news, entertainment, and more important announcements can reach millions of people almost instantly. For example, is the radio, often used to broadcast news, updates, especially during emergencies. Television also helps people not only hear information but also see images and videos, making communication easier to understand. Because of electronic media, communication became faster and more widespread, connecting people from different places. So, what is electronic media again? Electronic media refers to form of communication that uses electronic technology to transmit information to a larger audience. Lastly but not the least, the most modern stage of media development is the digital media. Digital media refers to communication that happens through digital technology and the internet. This era has greatly changed the way people communicate, access information, and interact with others. For example, is the internet, the smartphones, online platforms, and social media. Through these technologies, people can communicate with others anywhere in the world almost instantly. For example, platforms like Facebook and YouTube allow people to share information, watch videos, and communicate with others online. Another advantage of digital media is that people can not only receive information but also create and share their own content, such as posting videos, pictures, or opinions online. Because of digital media, communication today is faster, more interactive, and more accessible compared to previous eras. Alright, to conclude our discussion, culture and media are closely connected in shaping the society. Culture influences how people live, think, and interact with others. At the same time, media helps spread culture by sharing ideas, traditions, and information across different parts of the world. As media developed over time from oral traditions to digital platforms, communication has become faster, easier, and more accessible to people. Today, media continues to play an important role in connecting people, spreading knowledge, and shaping global culture and society. Well done sitting through our discussion. To end my presentation, I would like to share a quote. Communication leads to community. That is, to understanding, intimacy, and mutual valuing by Rollo May. This reminds us that communication and media help bring people together and build understanding among different cultures. That's all. See you again next time. Thank you for listening.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So today I'm going to discuss my assigned topic. But before I proceed, I would like to introduce myself. So first, my name is Rochelle Ivy D. Magno from the Bachelor of Science in Cooperative Management student. So the topic I was assigned to is all about the cultural hybridization and global cultural concepts, and it focuses on the cultural hybridization, globalization, cultural convergence, cultural imperialism, deterritorialization, and mixing of global and local cultures. So the first slide that I'm going to show you is about the cultural hybridization. So it refers to the deliberate or organic blending of distinct cultural elements, resulting in novel cultural forms. And this process occurs when cultures intersect, often through migration, transnational communication, or technological exchange, and it produces new social practices, artistic expressions, and hybrid identities as well. So importantly, it highlights how globalization can produce culturally innovative outcomes while simultaneously maintaining historical roots and local specificity. So, in simple words, cultural hybridization is the process where elements from different cultures come together to create a new forms, and this can happen in food, music, fashion, languages, basically any culture practices. And it happens as people interact across borders, often through migration or media, and results in fresh, innovative cultural expressions. So one of the examples are, the importance. Why is cultural hybridization important? So the first reason is cultural hybridization shows how cultures adopt and grow through interaction. It encourages creativity and innovation by combining ideas from different cultures, and it also promotes cultural understanding and diversity in a globalized world as well. So the first example is food. So we have here the sushi burrito, which is Japanese plus Mexican cuisine. So as you can see, we have an example here, the image that I uploaded. So it shows the sushi burrito corner where someone just bought this kind of food, which is really delicious to look at. Second is the music. So the K-pop, I'm mixing Korean culture with Western pop and hip-hop. And I also have generated an image here where you can see there's traditional costumes while they are performing on stage. Third is for fashion. The traditional clothing combined with modern global styles. You can also see here there's 3 girls with 3 different outfits from where they come from, that they also style their clothes, although they have while they're still embracing their own culture, they also did a small twist with their styles. So the examples here in the Philippines example is the Filipino spaghetti, and it was technically influenced by the Italian pasta, but adapted with sweet Filipino taste. So that is how cultural hybridization works and why it is important. Second is that globalization. So it is the process by which global concepts, products, or practices are adapted to local contexts. It emerged as a distinct phenomenon in the late 20th century alongside globalization, and rather than being a passive spread, globalization involves a deliberate modification so that global ideas remain relevant and effective in diverse local settings. So the 3 examples are the Jollibee, McDonald's, and Starbucks. So globalization is when something that started globally, like a product, idea, or brand, is adapted to fit the local culture and needs. So it became popular in the late 90s, and as a business and ideas spread worldwide, instead of using the same product everywhere, it is slightly changed to work better in each place. And these examples is the McDonald's adjust its menu, offering rice meals in Asia or different sauces in Europe. So it still feels familiar, but it also made just for the country. And this helps global brands stay relevant while respecting local costumes. So that's how globalization works. So it is important because it allows global ideas for businesses to stay successful by being relevant to local cultures. Rather, it ensures that people feel seen and respected because, the global product already adapts to their needs. This balance helps create more inclusive, innovative solutions and build stronger connections between the global and local market. Next, we have the cultural convergence. So this refers to the process in which different cultures gradually become more similar due to globalization, communication, and the influence of mass media. And as societies interact more frequently, they begin to adopt similar practices, values, technologies, and lifestyles while still maintaining aspects of their own cultural identity. So unlike those localization and cultural hybridization, this is the way of mixing the cultures. So cultural convergence happens when different cultures become more similar over time. This usually happens because of things like global media, technology, or trade. So, for example, people in different countries might start liking the same movies, music, or fashion styles, making more alike, even though they started out different. And one example as well is how the same social media platforms like Instagram or TikTok are used worldwide. So people in different countries enjoy similar trends. And the last example is the fashion. So many people globally wear similar brands or styles like jeans or sneakers. So different cultures start to look more alike. And also, to add up, global blockbuster movies like superhero films, it is now are really popular everywhere, making cultural tastes more similar. So that's how cultural convergence works. Next, we have cultural imperialism. So this refers to the practice where dominant culture imposes its values, beliefs, practices into another culture, often through economic, political, or media influence, and this can lead to the domination of one's cultural way of life. So, marginalizing or replacing local tradition and identities as well. So, the kind of dominant and the way they can influence others, like cultural imperialism, is basically when one culture tries to force its way of thinking, its tradition, or beliefs onto another group. Like, for example, a country might spread its language, media, or even religion to another place, even if the local culture didn't ask for it. So it's like saying, my way is better and you should do it this way. So even if it doesn't fit the other culture, just like what you see here in the picture, the example that I added. So our way is better than yours and you should do it this way. While these foreigners kind of like imposing something that other people don't even understand, which is a bit kind of disrespectful. But yeah, you can say it that way. Even you're not asking them about such things, they kind of like pushing you out from the culture or the way and how you grew up, right? So the next one is the deterritorialization. So the next one is deterritorialization. It is a cultural practice or identity that is no longer tied to its original geographic location. In other words, it moves beyond its place of origin, and it can be practiced or understood in new places, often losing its direct link to where it began. So, deterritorialization is when a cultural practice, identity, or meaning moves away from its original place or geographic location. In other words, like something that was tied to a specific place, like a traditional dance or a type of food that can be practiced or understood in different places. So it loses its strong connection to its original territory. So deterritorialization can lead to a situation where a cultural element once moved to a new place and it is taken and rebranded by that new group, and they might change it slightly, market it, and then claim ownership, which can erase or overshadow the original meaning and the community that created it. So they kind of plagiarize it and sell it on their own to benefit from it, making it as if it's the original. They are the original who made it, but it's not. But they're not. Second, lastly, we have the mixing of global and local cultures. So this refers to a dynamic process in which global influences such as ideas, media, or economic practices interact with local traditions and contexts. This interaction leads to creation of hybrid cultural forms where global trends are adapted, reshaped, and infused with local meanings. This process is neither a one-way spread nor a simple mixture. Instead, it reflects a complex negotiation of meaning and identity and creativity across cultural boundaries. So, the mixing of global and local cultures happens when ideas, trends, or products from around the world come together with local traditions. For example, a global clothing brand might adapt its styles to fit a particular country's fashion, or a worldwide music genre might blend with local instruments. And this creates something new, a fresh cultural mix that brings both global influences and local flavor together. So that's how it works. So that is the end of my topic. If you guys have any other questions, clarifications, you can ask me when we are gonna be in class, because this might appear in our exam. There's a possibility. So thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you learned something from the topic that I was assigned and also discussed. You have a great day ahead, and God bless.
Bright morning everyone, my name is Rebecca M. Pugales, and today I will discuss about who is Arjun Appadurai and his concept of scapes. Who is Arjun Appadurai? Arjun Appadurai is a renowned anthropologist known for his influential work on globalization and its effect on culture. His work focuses on how global flows of people, media, technology, money, and ideas that impact local society and culture. Scapes theory. He introduced the concept of scapes, which are five global flows that affect societies in unique ways. Appadurai is best known for his theory on scapes, which are the global flows that shape people's lives in the modern world. He explores how culture and the technology move across borders and create new connection between different parts of the world. Appadurai concept of scapes. Number one, ethnoscapes. The global movement of people. Because of ethnoscapes, people travel from one place to another, taking their culture with them. This means that when people move, they share their tradition and ideas with others. For example, Filipino who work abroad bring Filipino culture to other countries while also learning about other culture. This movement of people helps spread different ways of life around the world. Number two, mediascapes. Flow of culture via media. Because of mediascape, we can easily share and see different culture through media like TV, social media, and the internet. Platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram allow people from all over the world to connect and learn about each other culture. For example, watching a video from another country can teach us about their food, music, or way of life, helping us understand and appreciate different cultures. Number three, technoscapes, circulation of technology and software. Because of technoscapes, technology like smartphones, computers, and apps are used by people everywhere. This allows us to connect with others no matter what they are. For example, video calling someone on Zoom let us talk to friends and colleagues on the other sides of the world, breaking down the distance between us and making the world feel smaller. Number 4, financescapes. Flow of money globally. Because of financescapes, money and businesses move easily between countries. Financial organizations like World Bank help money flow from one place to another. For example, a company in the Philippines can get money from investor in the US to help it grow. This makes country economies connected and can help businesses grow internationally. Number 5, Idioscapes, movement of political ideas. Because of Idioscapes, political ideas spread across the world, changing how countries are run. Ideas about government like democracy or communism move from one country to another, influencing how people think about leadership. For example, the idea of federalism has made some countries rethink how they organize their government, giving more power to different region or states.
Bright afternoon, everyone. I am Joseph Rapana, and my topic is all about media and modern culture. Today, we will discuss about definitions of media, media as a communication channel, media and globalizations, role of digital media. What is media? Media refers to the different platforms or tools used to share information, news, and entertainment with people. It helps deliver message from one person or group to a large audience. Example of media includes Amazon televisions, radio, newspaper, magazine, and internet social media. Next is ang role of digital media. Digital media refers to the media that use digital technology, especially the internet. It includes platforms such as social media, website, online videos, and streaming services. Example of digital media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Media as a communication channel. Media is also considered a communication channel because it allows people to send and receive message. Through media, information can reach many people quickly. Importance of media in communications. Media is important because it helps people stay informed and connected. It allows information to spread quickly across different places. So media is important because it helps to people share information even in different places. Media helps in sharing news and informations, educating people, promoting products and services, connecting people from different parts of the world. Media and globalization. Media plays an important role in globalization. It allows information, culture, and ideas to spread across different countries. Connection between media and modern culture. Media has a strong influence on modern culture. It shapes the way people think, communicate, and live their daily lives. Conclusion. In conclusion, media plays an important role in communications. It helps people share information, connect with others, and spread ideas and culture around the world. That's all. Thank you.
Great afternoon, everyone. I am Annabelle May Noble, and I will be discussing my topic, which is media and Filipinos. So, the first topic of mine is about media consumption of Filipinos. So, media consumption refers to how Filipinos watch, read, or listen to media such as television, online videos, news websites, and radio. So, media consumptions of Filipinos refers to how Filipino in the Philippines use different types of media in their daily lives to get information, entertainment, and communication. This includes watching television, listening to radio, reading news, browsing the internet, and watching videos online. Many Filipinos use both traditional media and digital media. But today, more people are using the internet and mobile phones to access media. Filipinos are known to spend many hours online because media is a big part of their daily routine. Example, in the Philippines, many families watch news programs from GMA Network or ABS-CBN, while younger people often watch videos on YouTube. So, the statistics for the media consumption of Filipinos is around 97% of Filipino internet users watch online videos every week, making the country one of the top consumers of online video content. And for the second topic is about the social media usage. Okay. Social media usage refers to how people use online platforms to communicate, share information, watch videos, and interact with others. So, social media usage refers to how people use online platforms to communicate and share ideas, watch content, and interact with other people. In the Philippines, social media is commonly used to talk with friends, family, or post photos and videos, follow trends, and even run small businesses. Many Filipinos also use social media to get news, updates, and entertainment. Because smartphones are very common, social media has become part of everyday life for many Filipinos. Example in the Philippines. Many Filipinos spend time scrolling through Facebook, watching short videos on TikTok, or chatting with friends using Messenger. Another example is Filipinos communicate with friends and family using Facebook and Facebook Messenger. And the statistics for the social media usage is some studies show Filipinos spend almost 4 hours and 50 minutes daily on social media, ranking among the highest in the world. Okay, the third topic is about the influence of media on Filipino youth. Okay, media strongly influences the behavior, opinions, trends, and lifestyle of Filipino youth. Influence of media on Filipino youth refers to how media affects the behaviors, opinion, lifestyles, and decision of young Filipinos. The media they watch or follow can shape their interests, the way they speak, the clothes they wear, and the trends they follow. Media can have a positive effects such as learning new skills and gaining knowledge. But it can also have negative effects like spreading misinformation or creating pressure to follow certain trends. Because many young people spend a lot of time online, media has a strong impact on their daily lives. Example, many Filipino teenagers follow influencers on TikTok or watch tutorials on YouTube to learn dances, fashion styles, or new skills. Another example, Filipino teenagers copy fashion, dances, and slang form from TikTok or YouTube influencers. And the statistics about the influence of media in Filipino youth is about 50.7% of Filipino youth watch vlogs or influencer content weekly and the highest rate in the world.
So, bright morning, everyone. I am Florime Porras. Today, I will be discussing about issues in media cultures. Cultures refer to how media like TV, radio, social media, newspaper, films, and online platforms influence people, belief, behaviors, and daily life. In today's digital world, media plays a powerful role in shaping society. However, there are many important issues connected to media. Important issues connected to media culture is access. Access means the ability to people to use and benefit from media technology. Is not everyone has equal access to the internet, gadget, and reliable information. Some communities, especially sa rural areas, naga-experience sila mga slow internet connection or dili sila maka-afford sa mga digital devices. Example na is may iban nga mga province sa Philippines nga ang mga students naga-struggle sa ilang online learnings kay because they lack of mga gadgets like sa mga smartphones and hindi stable ilang Wi-Fi connection. Major challenges of access. First is digital divide, gap between those who have internet access and those who do not. Second is high cost of data and devices. Third is poor infrastructure in remote area. Sa digital divide, may lang ko example ng may student sa isa ka remote mountain or sa rural areas, village na hindi siya maka-attend sa online classes because of no internet connection or wala siya signal. While ang mga student naman niya nga sa city na can easily join sila sa online classes kay nang mas accessible sila sa Wi-Fi or sa internet connection. Next is ang high cost of data and device. Example, may ban nga pamilya nga dili sila afford sa mga gadget like mga smartphones, laptop or load funds ang ilang mobile data. So ang ilang mga kabataan nga naga-eskwela nang naga-struggle kung paano nila kumpleto ng ilang online assignment kag ang ila research sa internet. Next is ang poor infrastructure in remote areas. Example ng may mga provinces or may mga layo nga provinces, then may ara man sila ng internet tower kag may fiber connection pero limitado lang gid. Naga-cost ni siya sa very slow internet o kon nang wala lagi siya connection sa bilog nga mga sa mga naga-connect dira sa nga mga tawo sa sila nga province kay ang ilang ilang tower isa lang bikabilog so sa damo-damo sa ilang barangay so ang connection gid siya ng mas slow gid. Second is production and consumption. Sa production and consumption refer to creating media content, while consumption naman niya refer to how people use or watch media. Today, ordinary people can produce content through platform like sa Facebook, sa TikTok, sa YouTube. However, may mga not all produced content is accurate or responsible. Example, may mga iban nga vloggers nga nag-create misleading content just to gain views and mga followers. Ang media challenge sa production and consumption. First is ang spread of fake news, clickbait content, overconsumption leading to addiction and lack of fact-checking. So, first ang spread of fake news. May example ko may post sa Facebook na naka-state nga ang mga certain celebrity kuno ng patay na or nagkalamatay. But the information is false and quickly siya nag-spread because nga may mga tao nga nag-share dayon without knowing or without checking if it's true or not. Number 2 is clickbait content. May video sa YouTube nga ng title is You Won't Believe What Happened Next. But kung i-watch mo, ang content ngayon is not really related sa sila nga title. Lang na siya, butang lang na nila nga title para matanaw ka, or ah, ang ila title is catchy kaayo, so ikaw nga manugtan-aw sa YouTube or sa amo na nga movie is makakatch ang attention kay abi mo nami ang balagwaon. Next is ang overconsumption, overconsumption leading to addiction. So example is kita nga mga teenager nag-spend ta minute at hours para lang mag-scrolling sa TikTok, Facebook kada adlaw. So staying up late at night and neglect nato ng mga homeworks kag responsibility naton. So ay no kalabanan subong amo nang ginahimo nga mas ano ta subong sa pag-scrolling sa Facebook kaysa sa aton nga homework. Next is ang lack of fact-checking. May iba yung mga tao nga nagabasa sila tungkol sa Facebook or makabasa sila sa mga shocking news sa online, tapos wala sila kabalo ng hindi gali accurate gali, so gina-post tayo nila ag gina-share dayon nila sa ilang mga friends nga without knowing nga dili gali reliable ang news sa website. Ang inclusions and participation. Inclusions means giving equal representations to all group in media. Ang participation naman niya means allowing people to express their voice. So, ang media should represent different genders, cultures, religions, and social classes fairly. However, some groups are represented or stereotype. Example, some TV shows may nag-portray sila certain ethnic groups in negative or limited roles lang. Challenge. Gender stereotype. Sa gender stereotype naman, example is may iban nga TV advertisement nga ang ginapakita nila nga ang babae is always nila ginapakita nga mga babae household chores, like cooking, and nagapanghimo sa balay. While ang mga men naman niya ginapakita nila nga shown as the one working or making important decision. Number 2 is lack of representation of minorities. Example, sa kadamo nga movies and television shows, may mga indigenous people or minority groups nga rarely included as main characters. So their culture and stories are not properly presented. Number 3 is online harassment and cyberbullying that silence voices. Example is may isa ka student nga nag-share sa iyang opinion about sa social issues sa Facebook, but damo mga tawo nga nag-post ang hurtful comments kag nag-insult sa iya. So para para ma-feel niya nga mahadlok siya kag hindi na siya mag-express ang iyang opinion liwat. Cultural integrity. Cultural integrity means protecting and respecting a country's traditions, values, and identity in media. So, global media influences culture or local culture. Sometimes foreign content become more popular than local tradition. Example na ang mga young people or kita nga mga generation may copy foreign trends they see online and slowly forget traditional Filipino practice. So, kita ng kalabanan sa aton subong mga henerasyon ng mas na to subong sa mga TikTok, ng mga TikTok bala na. Then, ginasunod naton sa sa mga iba nga lugar. Then, in terms pagid sa ng mga beauty product, mas ginatangkilik naton ang sa iban kaysa sa aton nga product. So the major challenge is loss of local language and tradition, cultural appropriation, and westernization of media content. Ang loss of local language and tradition, example is mga young people subong nga nag-prefer na lang mag-speaking English online can rarely use their local language. So traditional language like sa aton sa Hiligaynon or other dialect are slowly useless in everyday ng conversation. Second is cultural appropriation. May iba niya mga foreign influencers wear sa aton niya traditional Filipino clothing like na borrow or use cultural symbolism or symbols in fashion videos without understanding their culture meaning or ang history. Third is westernization na media content. Many TV shows nga movies and social media trends copy Western style and music and lifestyle, making young viewers more familiar with American cultures than their own Filipino traditions. So that's mas kalabanan natin ginatangkilik ang mga iban nga mga tao o kon kalabanan naton na siya ang mas ginasunod naton ang mga sa international kaysa sa aton nga local culture. The survey media activity. A simple survey was conducted among 50 students regarding their media usage. Survey findings is 90% use social media daily, 75% nag-dispense ang 3 to 6 hours online per day, kag 60% admitted they sometimes share posts without verifying if they are true, and 40% naman yung nag-experience or witnesses cyberbullying, and 70% ang nag-prefer foreign content over local show. So, this is my conclusion. My conclusion in media culture plays a very important role in shaping society. While media provides information, entertainment, and opportunity for expressions, it also presents challenges as misinformations, unequal access, stereotype, and cultural loss. It is important for people to practice media literacy, thinking critically, verifying informations, and using media responsibly. By doing so, we can create a more inclusive, respectful, and information media environment. Thank you so much, Miss, and thank you so much, everyone.